Okay, wait. I actually might have gotten it now. Are we... How you doing with your bad self? I'm doing good, Graybush. I finally got YouTube up, which is what I was working on doing there for a little while. So I can now go back to doing my full attention on things. So that's cool. Okay. Why did Max abandon their hop-up for Polar Star? I'm not too sure. If I had to take a wild guess, I would probably say it's because Polar Star is, you know, released their own hop-up, which I actually have one right here, which we can take a little look-ski at. But we just filmed the video for these. We also just got a whole stock of them in at the shop here. So we have their Polar Star hop-up here, which actually I have a desk light here. I can give you guys a little bit of a better. Ooh, let's see how good. There you go, Polar Star hop-up. It is a V2 hop-up, and this one they actually printed our little logo on the side, which I think is very cool. But we just got in a shipment of these, so we will have them up on the website for you guys soon. But these are V2 only, which is kind of unfortunate for my V3 friends and anyone with kind of a weird hop-up. But there's quite a few adjustments on here for your alignment and keeping it all in place. So as far as having a hop-up that's not going to move on you, this is going to do a really good job. I'm pretty impressed with them. They're CNC'd from, you know, aircraft grade aluminum, some buzzwords in there, but they're pretty cool. But I would probably assume that's why, although I'm not 100% sure. I haven't talked with Max, you know, about any of their releases, so I'm not too sure why they would discontinue any run of stuff. Let's see. I don't remember you wearing glasses before. Did you just get them? No, I just don't usually wear glasses during the day. I pretty much always wear them when I drive, especially like today. It was raining outside, so I can't really see anything. But I do wear glasses. I have a prescription. I just don't usually wear them, so. Did Max stop their CNC hops? I just installed my Gen 1 Max CNC hop in a commissioned gun. I would be shocked if Max stopped their... let me do a little research real quick. I wish I had either of the other two, Logan or Talon here, because they are more of our front-facing vendor people. They speak to a lot of our vendors and stuff. So they would hear before I would about things of this nature. But I'm not really seeing anything about them discontinuing anything. So I would assume as of right now, no. Until I see a public announcement, so. No, just the Polar Star one, yeah. So Ross, what are we doing this month? Mercer, TRP, and call it a day? That's how it feels right now for me personally. I think, yeah, the last weekend of the month, myself, Eric, maybe some other of the Amped guys are going to be at the Mercer Free Play, which is on March 28th, and then TRP is March 29th. So we'll be doing both of those. Let me just confirm that. Yeah. This TRP is Fallout themed as well, which should be something. I'm considering doing Crescent the weekend before, but that's really my only consideration right now. I was considering doing Abkhaz Front the weekend after, and I was considering doing MSATO that weekend, the 28th. A lot of games happening, but right now the only ones I'm like actually confirmed for are Mercer and TRP. So just some local outdoor woods ball. Throw one of them in the mystery box and picking up at AMSX. Well, unfortunately, the mystery box that you're picking up at AMSX is already on the road, as Logan and Talon left this morning. So they have everything, all the pre-orders in the trailer with them, as well as, you know, anything else that you would need on site. But they do not have any of the Polar Star hop-ups with them. Or I'd be shocked if they did. I do not think they do. Retweet. Eric, are you retweeting the HPAs for fuckboys? What's up, Honda? How you doing? Aircraft grade aluminum doesn't mean shit. I'm a machinist. Would rather companies tell us their precision in QC. So they actually do tell you their precision in QC. They do have those facts available. I don't know them off the top of my head because it's like to the 1/1,000,000th of a whatever inch. I don't even know. The aircraft grade aluminum is definitely a buzzword. Here we can take a look at their actual product here. So if you go on to here, they have their blurb, but they do say, we know aircraft grade, we know aircraft grade is the favorite buzzword of every airsoft company trying to make a $15 part sounds like it belongs in a SpaceX rocket. So you're right. I mean, they're perfectly aware of kind of how it sounds. I mean, it's a buzzword. It's part of why I like Polar Star. You know, they're pretty direct with their marketing and they're pretty realistic with you guys. I mean, that's what it is. It's 6061 T6 aircraft aluminum. That being said, it's not. That doesn't really mean anything. I mean, you know. But down here, maybe it's not on this specifically. Oh, here it is. Here are their tolerances. Plus or minus 0.002 inches tolerance. Yeah. So, you know, some information there for you. If you're interested in the hop-ups that they're releasing. As I said, they are pretty specific for what they are. Eric, if I did ABCAS, I'd probably go media only. I'd probably do my press kit if I went, because I'm not trying to do rucking up there like that all crazy. It would probably be a press kit. I don't even know if I'd stay for the whole weekend if I were to go up, but I really don't know if I will, just because I'll be mega busy around that time of month. So. Yeah, retro arms hop-ups are good. Yeah, I do like the retro arms. I mean, I'd recommend them. It depends on, obviously, what you're putting it in, how you like it, and what kind of, you know, rotor you want or lack thereof. So, 1000th, yes. If birds eat worms and worms eat dirt, what do the dirt eat? It eats sunlight. Well, kinda. That's what the plants eat. And the plants make up the dirt, in my opinion. But thank you for that. Whoever Bill Nye the Airsoft guy is, I wonder who that is. Maybe they could come in here and join me and give me some science facts. What's the best Airsoft AK brand out of the box? Whew, that's tough. I think right now, like out of the box, straight out of the box, nothing done to it, it's probably going to be Arcturus. It's hard for me to say that definitively. I mean, it's hard for me to say definitively anything. I mean, it's all opinion-based, let's be honest. But for me, it's hard to say definitively because I've actually never run the Arcturuses, like on a field. I've tested them a bit and I've had my hands on them. But from just what I've heard in the community, it is by far the most like, take it out of the box, put a battery in it, and it'll run at the field and it performs great. So I would go Arcturus. If you want something that like feels really good in the hands, I'd usually say LCT. Or E&Ls, the newer E&Ls that are now being co-made, they're being collaborated on by Umarex. They have changed a little bit on their bodies that I'm not like the biggest fan of, just some stamping and branding. So that's something to just keep in mind. But you can't go wrong with most of them. I mean, the SEMA AKs are nice, and the SEMA Platinum ones are pretty good out of the box. The E&Ls and LCTs, I'd just recommend doing a little bit of upgrades to out of the box. They feel a little slow, a little chunky in just my opinion. Although some of the new ones have MOSFETs. It's been a while since I bought a brand new AK, so it's hard for me to say, but you're really not getting a bad deal with any of them, just because they're always trying to improve them. So like any of those 4 companies I named, if you go SEMA Platinum, if you go Arcturus, LCT or E&L, you're gonna be probably having a good day. So. Really depends on your preference, what kind of body you want, what aftermarket parts you want. All of them are going to be different and a bit different proprietary. So just be aware of how you want to build it out. Haven't convinced myself to go Polar Star yet, not cool enough. Honda, what do you have? Do you have an HPA or are you just an AG supremacy user? Furious Gerbil, the best AT at the moment, I'd say, is LCT. I'm a strong LCT supporter. They are built well. Yeah, I mean, excuse me. LCTs are built really well. I think there's no, you know, blurred lines there. I think everyone knows LCTs are built really well, like externally especially. Internally, in my opinion, they could use a little bit. My AK-12 out of the box, you know, with an 11.1 was not really getting the trigger response I wanted personally, but that's besides the point. You're not gonna be disappointed with it. So. I machined my own R-Hop alignment pin and R-Hopped a Lambda 6.01 stainless with an Elvish tack and the RA Pro Hop. You know, I did a hop-up one time where I used a piece of duct tape and a dry noodle as my bucking and hop-up and nub, sorry. And it worked for the day I used it, so you could call me a tech. That's all I'm saying. I would also go with LCT strictly based on the amazing externals. Yeah. If you're planning on gutting it and doing anything, if you're planning on doing internals, then externals alone, LCT. Hops 4 rows like a beam or a dream? Probably both. Thoughts on Ares shifting focus from their dogshit EFCS system to entering the GBBR space? I'm not against it. I mean, I'm always happy to see new gas blowback rifles. It always makes me nervous when it's, you know, like the first, or not the first one, but like kind of a product the company doesn't specialize in, because gas blowback rifles have a lot of moving parts and often, you know, are prone to breaking and causing replacements. And having a company that doesn't have a good network of replacements available can sometimes make it even more expensive. I mean, especially as we were talking about just price increases in gas blowbacks in general. But I mean, I'm always down for a new brand to make something new and check it out. What is the, I'm not too familiar. What was their EFCS system? Oh, it was their fire control system in their gearbox. Oh wait, they had a whole programmer on there? I didn't have any experience with this. Especially their programmer they have here. I actually have never seen this before. Here, I'll pop it up for you guys. I've actually never seen one of these in person even, so that's interesting. But yeah, I'm all for gas blowbacks. I love a gas blowback. LCD can come with the gate MOSFET. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I'm a Perun guy. The Peruns are nice. You can put a Perun in LCT. We did it. The one on the LCT on the wall back there, which I'm not going to point too much at, but it does have a Perun clicker and trigger board in it with a Redline engine. That's how we built it. So, haven't bought a gun in years. What is LCT? Well, LCT is the company that makes a lot of AKs. They are, I want to say they're based out of. Are they Russian? Are they a Russian company? I don't want to. I actually don't know as much. Wow, AI sucks. They don't know anything. The AI is the AI Google answer. Oh no, they're based out of China. Or Taiwan. TK? TK's Taiwan. Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan. Changhua County, Taiwan. I actually didn't know that for some reason. But yeah, no, they make AKs and they make them out of steel components, and they're really real, like really good feeling, and they feel pretty solid in the hands. Real quick, I'm gonna pop over to YouTube to eHouse, who asked, "What is the best airsoft gun? My mom will only spend $20." You know, we used to take an inner barrel, and we would put BBs in it, and we just. And they would actually, like, I think we chronoed it at like 40, 45 FPS. So that is what I recommend for you, eHouse. Buy yourself a barrel. You probably can't afford a Type bore, but get a barrel and some BBs, some floor BBs, and become the, I don't know, the ninja you always wanted to be with that guy. SEMA have come a long way, to be honest. 9 times out of 10, they shoot hard. The new SEMA Platinum ones are steel stamped and will be about $300-something. Yeah, the SEMA Platinums I'm pretty happy with. I think my biggest issue across the board is just the lack of like trademarks and stuff for like a realism standpoint. Not that that matters at all performance-wise. But I mean, that's also part of what makes them nice, is that you don't pay for those trademarks. And then like a lot of times, I'll see like, you know, EMG will make the trademarked version and it'll be priced a bit higher, but at the end of the day, it's the same gun, so. Magnet sensor, yeah, we love the magnet sensors. What is the best brushless motor brand? I really wish Talon was here to answer some of these questions for you guys, because if I'm being honest, I ain't an attack, as I said. What do we carry in terms of the brushless motors? Yeah, there's the ZCI brushlesses are really good, and they have the V2 and V3 ones. The Warhead ones are pretty good too. Those are the two brands I would keep a lookout for, are Warhead and the ZCI ones. That's just based off of my quick little search at what some of our best sellers are and what I've kind of heard around the office people have installed in their guns. I haven't really done much AEG work at all, so. Yeah, Honda, mostly AEG. LCT just put out a great new gearbox. Modern ETUs are optical, use light, or a mix of Hall effect and light, yeah. And ETUs too, I mean, I've had issues where I've just gotten like gunk in my gearbox and it stopped it from working, especially on like gates, so something to keep in mind. All right, I'm finally caught up to people saying Taiwan and Taiwanese for LCT. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're right, Eric, like always, always. Worked in this industry too long, for real. When did they become popular? I don't remember seeing them years ago. I feel like back when I was playing Airsoft like 8 years ago, it was at least E&Ls have always been around. I feel like I always remember LCT, but maybe I'm wrong. Actually, I think they started in like 2008, but I could be wrong. Apparently I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to this, so. For a decade and a half or more, yeah. A nice tri-shot might do at E-House, for sure, for sure. Come to a swap meet, you know, come to a bolt bash. You'll get some for 20 bucks, believe me. I saw people selling things giving things away, in fact. And LCT soon will have an MP5, just putting that out there. That's cool. I also still want to get my hands on their M60. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on one, but I want to. He can make his barrel look like a tribal dart gun. Exactly. Wrap it up, get in there, just... It's fun. I used to do it too with a PVC pipe and Nerf darts. We'd play Nerf and we would launch those guys too. I believe LCT has been around longer than that because my Gen 1 LCT is over 20 years old. Yeah, you know what, let's see. As per their website, they were established in 1982. Woo. Oh, but they didn't make airsoft guns. They made automotive parts, sports equipment, and medical devices. And in 2004, they completed their first OEM project for Airsoft. And then in 2007, they announced their brand, LCT Airsoft, was officially founded. Huh. But they've been doing various material processing expertise for an accumulated 40 years. Something new I learned. I didn't know that. A good brushless motor will be about 100 plus. Yeah, I mean, our ZCI ones I think are like 120, 130 for our ZCI. It's actually on sale right now if you want to pick one up. But then our Warhead industry ones, I mean, depending on the RPMs you get, it's between like, I don't know, 150-ish. I mean, some of them get up there. We have like a 200, 230, 250 one. So, depends on your build. I think the gearbox alone was going to run me 450. Whew, yeah. I mean, AEG gearboxes get up there, but they also perform beautifully. Best out-of-the-box LMG for MSW. SEMA RPK. That is my answer for you. The SEMA RPK. which I will pop up for you guys here. This guy, which we unfortunately don't have in stock right now, but I will tell you that this guy is probably going to be your best out of the box. I mean, you're talking like 300 bucks, and this thing, it does rip, and it's not too big, like it's not over encumbering. It's got the folding stock, it's got the bipod. I mean, it's ready to go. You just lay that thing down. You do a militia build, I mean, you don't need anything on this, you know? You run it like that. Just dump on people. This is what I recommend, though, out of the box. But it also depends. If you're going NATO, if you're NATO, that's going to be a bit harder. I would say, you could always go with just like the, for NATO, it's going to be harder for sure. Just do a 240. Just do the Lancer 240. I actually don't know. I don't know what would be the best out of the box for a NATO build. I mean, personally, I'd probably go like the Lambda Defense Mark 48 or something, but it gets expensive. The cheapest option you're gonna have is that SEMA, for sure. The M60 looks badass. I'd about imagine they will come out with a VN M60. Yeah, probably. I bet they'll do a couple different models because LCT is really good about once they have a base gearbox, they can build out a few different variations. I imagine it's going to be so heavy. So LCT is as old as I am. Fuck, I'm old. Yeah, Gray Bush, it's up there. It's up there. Big not recommend on Lambda Mark 48. Mine has never worked. Oh, really, E-House? Okay, fair enough. You heard it from E-House first. His doesn't work. I haven't personally owned them. I just know somebody who used to run one, and it was pretty cool. But I also wasn't the one dealing with the tech issues. So that is very fair. But I stand by my SEMA RPK. Because it's an LMG, and it'll rip. I wish you could still run the RPK 16s as an LMG. Do that with the big drum. I'd have to agree with the SEMA RPK. Grab an extra battery and a drum mag, and you're good. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're set for the whole weekend. The only thing I would even recommend doing on that guy, unless you're gonna like HPA it, would probably be just throwing in a barrel build, so it gets a little bit of extra range on it, but nothing too crazy. So some good news for me, I'm playing hooky tomorrow to go snowboarding. Yo, that sounds fun, honestly. I don't even know where I would go snowboarding around here. There's 6 Flags, but I ain't doing that. I've been up there like twice, and it wasn't the best ever. It's just too crowded, too expensive, especially nowadays. I haven't been there recently, but I can only imagine. I have an Echo 1 Red Star RPK still. The Echo 1 ones are cool. What? Oh my gosh, what brand was it? My mind is drawing a blank. It's at that point in the live where I'm struggling to think now. I'm not too sure. I'm not even too sure anymore. I have a, up on the wall there, it is, you can't see it actually, it's above the camera. It's the Stoner by, it's not the GMP one. What's the other brand that makes the Stoner? It's my gun. I should know who makes it. No, it is the GMP one. It's not the Knights Armament one. It is the GMP one, I believe. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Oh, no, it's the Ares one. I have the Ares one. My lord. Wow. And I haven't run it yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to run it at the end of the month. But I got it at Bolt Bash, and I haven't touched it at all internally. It's got, I think, an F2 in it. I'm not even sure what's installed in it, actually. But I got to bust that out and run it. But I really like it because, I mean, it's super lightweight and stuff. But I don't think that's even allowed for, like, an MSW, or most milsims, I think, actually have the Stoner ban, especially with the Paris stock. But you know, is what it is. I wasn't planning on running it there anyways. It's a TRP and Mercer gun. I apologize to the people there. Barrel hop up and bucking, and you're set. Just watch the FPS, it might jump higher. Yeah, your FPS might jump with depending on what you do for a barrel hop up and bucking. I think they're like, I think honestly they shoot close to 400 out of the box. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're. I mean, it's obviously not going to be CQB field legal, but I think they're up there. So have an original Echo 1 MP5. The Echo 1 MP5s are cool. I'm actually considering doing a brushless motor and that $450 gearbox for my Echo 1 MP5. Run it. We have a couple of MP5s that we're trying to HPA that are the older ones. I don't think they're the Echo 1 ones though. They're the Elite Force like competition ones, and they have like the red painted triggers and stuff. They're pretty cool. Like the special editions. I also have underneath my desk here, I have a I have one of these G&G clear bodies. These are their completely clear gearboxes. Or sorry, not gearbox, lower and upper receiver. And I really want to do a build with this. So if you guys have any recommendations for what we should throw in this guy, I'm open to hearing it. Because I really need something to show off, you know, show off all the cool stuff. I'm thinking I'll probably put the Polar Star hop up in it, because that'd be cool. But yeah. I got the MP5 at a deal. I'm in the process of rebuilding it. It's funny because the Echo 1 MP5 uses a lot of SEMA parts. Yeah, that's what's nice. I feel like this is more so true about older replicas, but I feel like a lot of them took a lot of the same parts. Like anything built in like between like 2005 and like 2015, a lot of the parts are pretty interchangeable. And like nowadays, a lot more companies are being proprietary, which, I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of, because I like being able to dump parts from different things onto stuff and make weird amalgamations, but it is what it is. Face the mic towards you again. Could hear you easier. Did I bump it? Did I do that? This is a bad spot for the mic, actually, honestly. Oh my god. Let's see. Maybe that's better. Maybe it's kind of like facing out a little bit. Hopefully that's all right for you guys. I can actually turn up my volume a little bit in the back end for y'all. So maybe that'll work better. I'm going into yellow. Oh, I'm a little too loud. Okay, there we go. Sounds like a fun build. In the words of our Dark Sith Lord, do it. Do it. A lot of the older replicas were easy to rebuild because of that interchangeable aspect. Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt. Like, if I had an old gun laying around, I mean, I remember at the old Airsoft field I used to work at, if we had something broken, I could go into the tech room and, like, if it was a version 2, most parts in the random version 2, like, part bin would just go right in. And nowadays, that is not the case at all. And a lot of times, I don't even find out that parts aren't compatible until I'm, like, in the middle of building it. And it's like, oh, this just won't fit. So, yeah. Graybush, I'll eat the mic if you want me to. I'll gobble it. I won't do what, like, Logan and Talon would probably yell into it really close right now. But I won't do that to you guys, because I'm not like them. Oh, I miss the two of them, keeping me company in here. Now I'm just stuck with Graybush and Honda. How dare I? Let's see. What is there anything cool and new coming out that we should talk about that we haven't talked about already? We've talked about a couple things, but I think I already said it, but the Polar Star hop-up video will be released this Sunday at 11 a.m. So if you guys are interested in a little bit more information about that, you can check that out. It's nothing too crazy. We do an install for it, and Talon just talks about it a bit more than what I said today, but nothing too crazy. Doesn't look like there's anything too crazy being released right now. I mean, the SR2M is really cool. Or is it the 3M? No, the 2M. Yeah, the SR2M is pretty cool. It's gas blowback by Raptor. I'd be interested to see what that's all about. Inferno versus F3/Fusion. I believe you mean F2? F2? There's no F3. Yeah, F2. I mean, personally, I would go Polar Star with a Fusion engine or an F2 or something of that sort. And that is nothing to say about the actual, quality of the Inferno by Wolverine. It's a great engine, but I just have personally have more experience with Polar Star units. That's what's in most of my builds, so that's kind of what I'm comfortable running and working on. And I have extra trigger boards, extra FCUs, stuff of that sort, nozzles, everything like that. So like personally, that's just me. But I'd say honestly, the Inferno's more comparable to the Jack. Is the Inferno a single solenoid? I'm going to be spreading misinformation again. Yeah, I believe it's a single solenoid. So, probably more comparable to a Jack, but that's just my opinion. You're not going to go wrong with an Inferno, though, if you pick it up. Thanks, Grey Bush. Thanks. I get why, so it's not that way anymore, but at the same time, a lot of these newer MP5s, especially, you can't even get upper receivers for, etc. So you break it, guess what? You got to buy a new gun. Yeah, I mean, and those upper receivers, too, are not... I mean, yeah, they're not easy to replace, for sure. New M1 carbine coming out that looks sweet, if that's your cup of tea. Who's making that? A few new pistols coming out. I believe I may be wrong. Not a big secondary guy, but yeah. Dude, they're always coming out with new pistols. There'll be 20 new pistols every year, and honestly, they all kind of look the same, in my opinion. I'm also not a big secondary guy. I've been thinking about Pulsar S myself. The Pulsars are interesting. You can do some weird things. I mean, I have a buddy who's local here who's been building some like double barrel DSGs, and he uses some of the Pulsars, and it's pretty impressive. But I also don't have any experience with like the Pulsar. All my engines are Polar Star, and then I have a backdraft. I used to have 2 backdrafts, but I actually traded one for that that LMG. So. I think Wolverine did an XM177 build to its HPA, and I think about 900, 1200. Oh, I guess we... I think Logan and Talon talked about it last week, but I'll mention it, I guess, as well. Wolverine did announce at IWA their XM177, which is a part of their Fossil series. So it should have the DIG blowback recoil stock on it, I believe. And then they also are releasing their MTW AK, which has a... it has the XTS in it, so I believe you can put the recoil stock on it if you wanted to, but it doesn't come with it just out of the box, I don't believe. But both those are really cool. I definitely would consider picking those up, because the XM177 is a cool replica, and the MTW AK is also really cool. What's in your OSW? What do you mean by that? You have to clarify that. The new Phoenix engines are like Jacks, but cheaper. I'd recommend them. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much very similar. It's a big single solenoid engine. I'll say that like the trigger boards and their FCUs are a little bit harder to get kind of fine tuned to where you want. But Aiden is like always coming out with new updates for them, and he has the new Bluetooth ones. So actually, what I just said might be totally incorrect. I don't like using Bluetooth because my phone sucks, so that's just me. But I do like the backdrafts. I think they're a lot of fun. I'm supposed to be getting some of his more modular engines, which are open source, which allow you to 3D print a lot of the parts around them and build them out into these kind of 3D printed whatever you want around this engine that's open source. So I'm going to be getting my hands on some of those. I'm going to be doing some pretty big video projects showing you guys, everything there is there with that, which I'm excited for. So that's something to look forward to. That's something Aiden was showing off here at Bolt Bash this last year, if you got a chance to talk to them. The FAL. Oh, the FAL was the Phoenix engine, but I traded the FAL actually for the LMG at Bolt Bash. That's what I ended up doing. So I no longer have that FAL. I trade guns like nobody's business. It's kind of ridiculous. So that's just me. Eric, I love Wolverine. Eric, are you gonna get the XM177? Are you gonna get the Fossil series XM177? I think you should. Looks awesome, to be honest. I've seen a few things about it too. My buddy in Dublin, Ireland, told me about it. Even sent me a link. He's a big HPA guy. Yeah, it's really cool. I wish we could have gone to IWA. I mean, I wish I could have just gone to IWA in general, like period. But I wish I could have gone to see like what Wolverine had, because it was really cool. And I did see that they weren't at SHOT Show this year, which I mean makes sense since they were doing IWA. But I was waiting to hear what they announced. So the fact they announced two big projects like that, I mean, both a Fossil Series XM177 and an AK that's pretty cool. I'm still curious about the M14 rifle I think Honda was talking about, but oh, M1 carbine, that's what it was. Let's see. Who's coming out with that? I mean, King Arms makes all the old ones. Maybe they're making a new one. I don't know. It's cool. World War II stuff's cool. Hell no. No, man, I would have killed for that. Eric, you don't wanna pick up the XM177, man? It goes hard. I did find a place in Canada that may be able to 3D print me some MP5 metal upper receivers for replacements for the SEMA/Echo 1. 3D print you MP5 metal? I don't know if it'll be metal, but they could see. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but that'd be cool. I really want like 3D printing and stuff to get to a point where it's good enough to like just build out like all new gun parts, all new like Airsoft. Sorry, Instagram. I want to 3D print Airsoft parts for my replica. I want to build my replica cooler. Okay, that's all I want. I want more accessibility to that. All right, that's all I'm saying. Oh boy. Man, when are we going to get good bullpup rifles in the Airsoft world, especially good for HPA installs? So, for HPA installs, I agree. There are some cool bullpups though. The G&G L85 has been very cool to see, and I hope that G&G uses that technology to create some more bullpups. I also think that the Silverback MDRXs are really cool. And then, speaking of HPAing, actually, Tony, our tech, just finished working on a HPA'd SVU, so the bullpup version of the SVD. He put a engine in it, and he actually got it wired to the grip, and then we rewired it to the front for a external PEC because that is just what the customer asked. But it is possible. You can HPA your bullpup for sure. It takes a little bit of work. It depends on the model, but it is definitely doable. And I think they're really cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, we could always get better ones. I'm always down for a better bullpup rifle. I'd really like to see the, like a really good, oh man, I'm blanking on the name of it. The, give me a second, people. What is happening with my music right now? Okay, just the end of this song's weird. That's fine. I'm gone. I've lost it. I've totally lost it. Mentally, I've lost it. Yeah, no, there's the Tavor as well, which one of our, Tom had HPA'd in the past, our old tech here, who did a air stock in the front of the rifle, so you could put a CO2 in, and it was all internal into Tavor, which was really cool. That's probably one of the most unique things I've ever seen. So yeah, I mean, lots of cool stuff, you know. I want like a Groza that doesn't cost $1 gazillion. That's just me, so. I do get a few printed. I'll let y'all know. It definitely will help some people out for sure. Meant M1 Grand. Gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha, Honda. I figured that. Yeah, I wanna get myself a printer just so I can mess with stuff like that. There's a couple builds I want to do some weird things. Like for instance, my Stoner up there. I would love to 3D print like the full stock for it because I don't have one. Which I know, I think Antec actually sells and prints like the additional pieces. I'm not too sure if it's for the Aries version or not, but I do know they're available. They're pretty cool. See you later, Graybush. Have a good one back at your work. Let me continue to see if there's anything cool and new to check out. Any pre-orders. Oh yeah, Crytek's coming out with their Tornado 3 grenade. I think we talked about that a little bit in the past. That's interesting. We were messing around with the T238 ones, and they were pretty cool. And then we got the Max ones as well, which were fun. Let's see. Oh, A&K making that M1D Grand, is that? I think that might be what you were talking about, Honda. The A&K one. Oh man, it's got the big fancy flash hider on it. Estimated to arrive April of 26. I mean, they're definitely cool. It's not something I'm personally, you know, gonna run or buy, but it's cool. I mean, I'm really excited for this S&T, the SKS 45. That I'm excited for. I think that'll be really cool. ICS is making a Full Metal Galil. That's cool. WeTech is making a gas blowback G3A3. Okay. Tokyo Marui Super 90. What is this? Yeah, spring. Okay. I mean, it's cool. The KTW new Winchester. What is this thing? Is this shell ejecting? It better be. Huh. Huh. IRGC kit, the new meta. It might be, unfortunately. It might be. If we get any more in Iran, we'll have to do that. What is their camouflage anyways? What do they run? Pixel. What, just a desert pixel? Looks like, yeah. Oh, and they run like a DPM too. I just got a DPM the other day, actually. Polar Star is in the chat. What's up? When is someone going to mass produce a reliable auto-winding box mag? Seems like the biggest problem with LMGs is not even the rifle, but box mags. Yeah, you're 100% correct. I mean, that's the problem I see a lot of times is with the box mags. I mean, there are some companies that make some upgrades for it. Bullcraft does some box mag upgrades that allow you to, you know, bypass some of the issues that are commonly found. But they obviously don't make them for all the replicas, and they obviously don't really mass produce them. So I don't disagree, though. If there was some better box mags, LMGs would just perform a lot better in general. What time will the lunchtime live begin for the giveaway on March 18th, and what time zone is it? So it'll start at 1 p.m. and it goes until 2 p.m. That is Eastern time zone. It is the lunchtime live that you're in right now. So we do this every week from 1 to 2 p.m. So you will catch us doing the giveaway on the 18th at 1:30. So we do it right in the middle of the live. So we'll start the live, we'll talk a bit, we'll chat with y'all, we'll pull the giveaway at 1:30, and then we'll continue with the live. So that is what time it is. But yeah, we do these every week. So, you know, feel free to jump in and say what's up. Today it's a little bit more chill than usual because it's just me here by myself. Since Logan and Talon went to AMSX. They are on the road for that event down in Killeen, Texas at Fort Hood. So in the meantime, it is me hanging out and reading chat and talking to you guys. And, you know, no problem, man. Just got my hop-up thing. Pumped to try it out this weekend. That's cool. I want to try one out myself. We have one installed in the Crytek behind me, and I haven't ran it yet because I haven't had a chance to. And I think it shoots too hot for the field here for me to run it here. But what are you installing it into, Gray Lakes? I'm curious. curious what y'all putting it in. Are you using it in conjunction with HPA with a Polar Star unit? Ooh. You're about 30 minutes from Killeen, Texas. Are you going to AMSX? Are you going there? You can show up, go play some Airsoft with all the guys. You need the special AMSX mags or your gas ball. Like, I think they sold out of tickets for that game months ago. It's like, it's super capped. But yeah, they'll be out there. It's like 21 hours for us. So it's going to take them a couple of days to get down there. They left today. Game starts, I think, Friday night. So it's going to take them a little while. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, as I said, we did get the Polar Star hop-up unit, hop-up things in earlier yesterday. So they will be on the website very soon this week. So you can keep your eye out for that. We also did just get in all of the e.g. the Thunder Crash grenades that are going up to AMSX. So you guys can check those out there if you happen to be up there. It'll be cool. I am unfortunately recovering from shoulder surgery. That sucks, man. I hate to hear that. I hope, all that recovery goes well for you. Stock 416 for now, but I will swap it over to test it in a Polar Star. Cool. Yeah, definitely let me know, how it performs for you. I don't expect it, to be anything crazy. It's cool, but it's, at the end of the day, it is, another hop-up unit. I like the look of it. I like, their branding on it and everything. And I mean, honestly, like, personally, for me, I like keeping parts, like, by brand if I'm building something. That's just me. I like doing everything kind of the same brand. Just because it makes me feel like everything's going to work together better, which probably isn't true. As I said, I'm not a tech. Don't take my word for it for this, okay? I don't know what I'm talking about. I used to play Airsoft with a group out of McAllen, Texas. I've never been to Texas. Actually, that is not true. I drove through Texas when I drove out west. I drove somewhere out west, and I went through Texas. But I've never played Airsoft there. So, also got super lucky and snagged the Modern Warfare 2 Spets Gorka set from Commando. I saw those, and I wanted one, but I can't spend my money on them right now. But it is really cool. I think it's funny because I have a Rothko set that is like the red camo, and it looks pretty similar, and I'll rock the Rothko set, but no, the Modern Warfare 2 Spets camo, I mean, their whole Gorka sets, they're cool. Most favorite to least favorite Milsim event companies. Gosh, I mean, that's a crazy question. I don't really have least favorite event companies. And I think it's unfair to label event companies as like a least favorite. And the only reason I say that is because events are so, first of all, subjective as well as like by event based. Cause like I've been to plenty of events by like, say, a certain event organizer where maybe I love all of them and there's one game I hate. And I have to imagine that if I went to that one game I hate without having the experience of any of the other ones, like what I would say about that event organizer. So a lot of times if I have a bad experience, I try not to blame the event organizer. I really try to like, narrow in on like where the issues were, whether that was fields, whether that was the event organizer staffing, whether it was, the players on the field, the rules, whatever. But at the end of the day, all events can be super different. But I'll say, personally, for my favorites, in no specific order, just my top kind of favorites that I personally like try to go to as many games that they are hosting as possible because I just think they're strong, solid games, would be Milsim West, American Milsim, and Gun Gamers. Those are probably my top three personally. There are obviously plenty of other event organizers and ones that are more local to us, but on like a national scale, that like host consistent games that like when I hear them and someone asks if I want to go, it's usually not a question of like, oh, well, where's the AO? How many people are going? It's pretty much always, I know it's going to be a good game. Those three event organizers are definitely ones to keep your eyes on for any event coming up. But as I said, it is super, I mean, you know, going to a Gun Gamers roleplay event and then to a Force on Force event is going to be two completely different experiences. So, like, if you do only one and then draw your opinion on an event organizer based off that, I think you're kind of narrowing your focus of where you can play in the industry. So, that's just me. Eric, least favorite LC based off our most recent interaction. It happens, you know. As I said, I've had bad experiences and good experiences at an event by, you know, the same organizers, and sometimes it depends on the day, you know. Sometimes it doesn't. I mean, yeah. Hey, Afrin tags. I can't pronounce. I didn't say that right. I do want the PKM from LCT that comes with the bipod. The PKM's cool. I think sick. I want that thing. I don't know when it's going to hit the market, but I've seen it. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it anytime soon, but it is sick. Almost all organizers are different in their own way. MSW is different than, say, Centurion. Apples to oranges, both are fruit, but very different. Yeah, I agreed, Grey Lakes. I mean, it depends on what you want to. Like, if you really don't like sleeping in the woods and rucking a really far distance, you might say that Milsom West sucks, right? But like, if you really want a challenging game, that might be the only option for you. So it is so personal preference that I can't put a label on what I think is better or worse. Especially because as someone who works in the industry and refs a lot of games and has been on the other side of like the organizing aspect, I know the amount of moving parts and I know the amount that can like go wrong or go right and just everything involved in it. So I give a lot of leniency to event organizers for that reason. And I'm always one to, you know, give someone second chances. If an event sucked, they can always learn from it, make a better event, and do better next time. So, I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I try to be a little optimistic in the Airsoft community just because, you know, the amount of events that we have to go to and the amount of people organizing them isn't as many as I would like. I would like to see more events being hosted, more organizers, you know, more interest in the community to go to these events. So I try to be graceful, to say the least, with it. In my opinion. Top 3 pistols for performance. Elite Force 1911, the CO2 one. HK USP, the non-gas blowback one, the non-blowback CO2 one. And I think probably shocking answer, Walther PPQ. I like the PPQs. They're kind of fun. That might be a crazy take for those 3 pistols, but that's just me. Brushy Mountain event by 6mm was easily the worst ever circa 2019. I didn't go, so I can't say, but that's a fair take to have, I guess. I'm trying to think of like what my like worst event that I ever went to was. I don't know. I've been to events that I've left and been like, that wasn't fun, you know? But usually I'm there with like a group of friends and we can make it fun, even if the gameplay sucks, even if the AO sucks, even if whatever sucks. Usually we can try to spin it into having a good time. I think the worst time I ever had was there was a game where one of the guys in our squad, it wasn't even the event organizer's fault, it wasn't the game's fault, it was actually a fine Airsoft game, but someone who we were running with was like raging out about people not calling hits, and that ruined it for me. I was like, dude, like I can't play Airsoft with someone who's just like complaining in my ear all day. Like I'm trying to I spend money to be here, you know? So that's just my opinion. I've heard GoPro is on top of the game anymore. What are your thoughts on that? Some people recommend DJI. I've heard a lot about DJI. I think if I were to ever get new cameras and upgrade kind of what we film with, I'd probably go with DJI personally. I would agree. I think GoPro's been dropping the ball a lot. We run these. We have Hero 11s right here. I have some little Hero 11s. They're really nice for CQB Airsoft. They're nice for vlogging. They're nice for throwing in the pocket. They have their pros, but they definitely have their cons too. They overheat really fast. They don't have a long battery life. The battery's internally built, so you can't replace it. So, they're not bad. I mean, they work for action cameras. All of our videos we shoot are on GoPro right now. But I think that the new DJIs are definitely a step up, and I would recommend checking them out if you are looking at an action camera. I feel like, I don't know, Milsom West is climbing that ladder more so than Line Claws now, it's sad. Been to a few Line Claws event back than having a Milsom West yet. I mean, they're different. They're so different. Milsom West, you're having a totally different game style, and there's a totally different expectation of what's happening on the field than at a Line Claws event. They're just so different. I will say that, I mean, Line Claws events, Line Claws have been around for a very long time. I mean, so has Milsom West, but I think Line Claws have been around longer than Milsom West, if I'm not mistaken. And they've had, I mean, so many different AOs, different game styles and events that, depending on what era you went to, you're going to have a totally different experience. So, you know, and event organizers, they can go down in quality as much as they can go up. So, you know, as I said, keep your mind open. Always try new events. Don't write off any one company or any one event organizer because you heard someone else say something. You know, I think that going out and playing Airsoft is the best thing that anyone can do for this community to help it thrive and, you know, be good. I mean, you know, one of the worst things ever is when I go to an open play and no one's at the field. So just show up and play. That's all I got to say. Friendsoft is the best soft. Yes, Great Lakes, that is a great way to say it. Go to a Gun Gamers first to see if you'll like MSW. Yeah, Gun Gamers is a pretty good stepping stone in. I mean, 12 hour, 24 hours rather than 48. A lot of the same concepts, but just a little bit, I wouldn't even say like less intense because it's just as intense. It's just a bit of a different organization. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. But it is 2 o'clock. So I'm going to stop yapping here. I feel like I have been talking for an hour straight, but I never do that. So, before I leave, I'll read Honda's last thing there. Definitely different. Totally agree. I've talked to a few people who's been to Milsom West. I've always heard good. Yeah, it's a good time. You just got to be in the right mind space for it. You know, don't show up expecting to have a little barbecue with your friends and maybe shoot a couple of BBs. I mean, you know, be expecting to work. You got to put the work in. So, but yeah, that is where I'll sign off today. There's a lot of my opinions on Airsoft, the community, the industry, all that fun stuff. And just to kind of cap off some things before I leave, I'll say that we put a bunch of Cubbysoft stuff on sale. We have some Mac stuff on sale. If you're looking at any of the Speed QB stuff, that is available on our website at a bit of a discount. And then Logan and Talon are going to be at AMSX this weekend, so you can expect some photos and some media content from that coming later next week when they come back from the event. And then in the month of March, which is this month that we're in right now, we are going to be at Operation Punisher 2026 at Splatter Park on the 12th. We're going to be at Players Wanted Scorched Earth 3, which is at the Crescent Sanatorium March 20th. And then March 28th, we'll be at MSATO Op Liberty The Forge. And then I will personally probably be at the Mercer Free Play or TRP. If you are local to Pittsburgh, you'll probably catch me out on the field with my camera. So make sure to wear your best kit. And I will see you guys next week for the Lunchtime Live. Have a good one.